The contract sits on the desk between them, edges sharp as broken glass under gold light. Arden Wynn leans forward, her red suit cutting through the shadows of her private office like a wound that refuses to close. Marble floors stretch behind her, cold and polished. The kind of floor that echoes when you walk alone at night. The kind that swallows the sound of a man's breath catching in his throat. Darian Cole stands 3 feet away, still wearing his janitor's uniform. Yellow rubber gloves hang from his pocket. His hands tremble at his sides. "You owe me a legacy," Arden says. Her voice is soft. Too soft. The way people speak when they already know you can't say no. Darian's chest tightens. He stares at the papers in front of him, black ink swimming across white pages. Legal words he doesn't understand. Clauses that feel like chains. "What are you talking about?" His voice cracks. Arden doesn't blink. She reaches across the desk, fingers brushing the edge of the contract, pushing it closer to him. Her nails are painted the same red as her suit. Perfect. Deliberate. "I saved your daughter's life," she says. "Now I want mine." The office smells like imported leather and something floral he can't name. The scent makes his stomach turn. Everything in this room costs more than he'll ever make. The desk alone could pay for Ariel's next 10 doctor visits. Ariel. His daughter's name pounds in his head like a second heartbeat. "I don't understand," Darian whispers. But he does. Somewhere deep in his gut, he already knows. Arden steps around the desk, heels clicking against marble. She stops just close enough that he can feel the weight of her presence. Power radiates off her like heat from asphalt in summer. A child, Darian. She tilts her head, studying him the way scientists study insects under glass. "With you." The words hit him like a fist to the ribs. "Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is." His mouth opens. Nothing comes out. His brain scrambles for logic, for sense, for any explanation that makes this moment feel less like a nightmare. "You can't be serious," he finally manages. Arden's expression doesn't change. No smile, no frown, just certainty. "I'm always serious," she says, "especially about what belongs to me." Darian's legs feel weak. He thinks about Ariel sleeping in their tiny apartment across town. Her chest rising and falling steady now, healthy now, alive now. Because of the woman standing in front of him. The woman who just asked him to father her child and sign away his rights like he's signing a receipt. "I saved her," Arden continues, voice smooth as silk over steel. "The surgery, the hospital bills, the specialists, all of it. Do you know what that cost?" Darian's jaw clenches. "I never asked you to." "You didn't have to." She cuts him off, sharp and clean. "I saw you on your knees in this office, crying, begging God for a miracle." Her eyes narrow. "I became that miracle." The air in the room feels thin. Darian's lungs burn. He glances toward the door, but it's closed. He didn't hear her lock it, but somehow he knows it won't open easily. "I can't," he says, voice barely above a whisper. Arden's smile appears then. Small, cold. The kind of smile that lives in the corner of your vision right before something terrible happens. "Can't," she repeats, tasting the word like it's foreign. "Or won't." She picks up a pen from the desk. Gold trim. Expensive. She holds it out to him. "Sign," she says. Darian steps back. His heel catches on the edge of a rug. He stumbles, catches himself against a marble pillar. The stone is ice cold under his palm. Arden watches him, waiting, patient. "You have 24 hours, she says softly. "After that, I'll assume you need motivation." The way she says motivation makes Darian's blood run cold. He turns toward the door, legs shaking, heart hammering against his ribs like it's trying to break free. As his hand touches the handle, Arden speaks again. "Darian," he freezes. "Don't make me take her from you." The hallway outside Arden's office stretches long and empty. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead, flickering once, twice, before settling into a harsh white glow. Darian's footsteps echo too loud in the silence. Each step feels like it's broadcasting his panic to the entire building. His hands won't stop shaking. He jams them into his pockets, feels the crumpled tissues and loose change from his last break. Normal things. Everyday things. Things that don't belong in the same universe as what just happened. The elevator doors open with a soft chime that sounds obscene in the quiet. Darian steps inside, punches the ground floor button 3 times before it lights up. The doors slide shut. His reflection stares back at him from polished steel. He looks like a stranger. Eyes too wide, skin ashen, mouth pressed into a thin line that doesn't hide the fear underneath. His phone buzzes in his pocket. For a split second, hope flares in his chest. Maybe it's Ariel. Maybe she woke up from a bad dream and needs to hear his voice. He pulls out the phone. The screen glows cold blue in the dim elevator. Unknown number. His thumb hovers over the screen. Something tells him not to answer. Some animal instinct buried deep in his brain that recognizes danger even when it comes wrapped in silence. The phone stops buzzing. 3 seconds later, a text message appears. Contingency measures activated. Proceed as discussed. Darian's stomach drops. Arden Wynn. But the message isn't for him. It's too clinical, too coded, like he's seeing something he wasn't supposed to see. Like she sent it to the wrong number. Or like she sent it to the right number on purpose. The elevator doors open on the ground floor. Cold night air rushes in from the loading dock entrance. Darian steps out, legs moving on autopilot. His car is parked in the back lot, half a block away. He starts walking. His phone buzzes again. This time, it's a voicemail notification. No ring. No missed call alert. Just a message that appeared like a ghost. Darian's finger trembles as he presses play. Arden's voice fills his ear, low and measured. I hope you're thinking carefully, Darian. Your daughter is precious, so fragile, so dependent on consistent medical care. A pause, breathing. It would be tragic if something interrupted that care. If paperwork got lost. If insurance suddenly found reasons to deny coverage. If questions arose about your fitness as a parent. The message ends. Darian stops walking. He's standing under a streetlight in the empty parking lot. Moths circle the bulb above his head, throwing frantic shadows across the asphalt. His phone slips from his hand, clatters against the ground. She's threatening him, not with violence, not with anything he could take to the police, just with the systematic dismantling of his entire life. The kind of destruction only money and power can buy. He thinks about Ariel, about a laugh, about the way she holds his hand when they cross the street, about the scar on her chest from the surgery that saved her life. The surgery Arden paid for. Darian bends down, picks up his phone. The screen has a crack now, spider webbing from the corner. Through the broken glass, he can still see the time. 2:47 a.m. In 4 hours, he needs to be at the warehouse for his morning shift. In 12 hours, Ariel will wake up and ask him to make pancakes. In 24 hours, Arden expects an answer. He unlocks his car, slides into the driver's seat. The interior smells like French fries and vanilla air freshener. Ariel's booster seat sits in the back, a stuffed rabbit buckled in beside it. Normal. Everything looks so painfully normal. Darian grips the steering wheel, knuckles white. His reflection in the rearview mirror looks hollow, used up, like a man standing at the edge of a cliff with nowhere left to run. He starts the engine. The radio crackles to life. Some late-night talk show discussing politics he can't focus on. He shifts into drive. As he pulls out of the parking lot, his phone lights up one more time. Another text. Same unknown number. Subject departure confirmed. Surveillance active. Await further instruction. Darian's blood turns to ice. He glances in the rearview mirror. The parking lot behind him sits empty. No cars. No movement. Just shadows and streetlights and the enormous glass building where Arden Wynn's office glows on the top floor. But someone is watching. Someone is always watching. Ariel's bedroom smells like lavender and baby powder. Darian stands in the doorway, watching her sleep. She's curled on her side, one small hand tucked under her cheek. Her chest rises and falls, steady and strong. The scar beneath her nightgown is hidden, but he knows exactly where it is. He's traced it with his eyes 1,000 times. She's alive. That's all that matters. That's supposed to be all that matters. But now every breath she takes feels borrowed. Paid for. Owned by someone else. Darian crosses the room, careful not to let the floorboards creak. He sits on the edge of her bed, hand hovering over her shoulder before he lets it rest there. Warm. Real. His daughter. His entire world in 90 pounds of scraped knees and gap-toothed smiles. Daddy? Her voice is thick with sleep. Hey, baby girl, he whispers. Just checking on you. Ariel's eyes flutter open, dark and clear in the dim glow from her nightlight. A plastic star that projects constellations across the ceiling. You okay? She asks. The question breaks something in his chest. She's 8 years old. She shouldn't have to ask if he's okay. She shouldn't have to carry worry in her voice like weight. She was born knowing how to lift. Yeah, he lies. Just tired. Ariel studies him with eyes too old for her face. Kids who've been sick learn to read pain. They become experts in things they should never have to understand. Miss Arden called again, Ariel says quietly. Darian goes still. Before bed, she talked to Mrs. Chun, their neighbor, the woman who watches Ariel when Darian works nights. She asked if I was taking my medicine, if I was eating good, if I seemed happy. Darian's jaw clenches. Arden called his neighbor, checking on his daughter, making sure her investment was being properly maintained. What did Mrs. Chun say? He asks, keeping his voice level. Ariel shrugs, small shoulders moving under her blanket. That I'm fine, that I ate all my dinner and did my homework. She pauses. Miss Arden said she wants to visit again. Maybe take me to the museum. Ice floods Darian's veins. Arden isn't just threatening. She's laying groundwork, building a relationship, creating evidence that she cares, that she's involved, that she has a claim. Baby, listen to me. Darian cups Ariel's face gently, thumb brushing her cheek. If Miss Arden ever wants to take you anywhere, you tell her you need to ask me first. Okay, always ask me first. Ariel nods, but confusion clouds her eyes. I thought you liked Miss Arden. You said she saved my life. The words hit him like glass shards, because he did say that, over and over, every time someone asked how they afforded the surgery. Every time Ariel asked why a stranger helped them. She saved your life, baby. We're so lucky, so grateful, grateful. The word tastes like poison now. I do, Darian says, the lie heavy on his tongue. I just want to make sure I always know where you are. That's all. Ariel accepts this with the easy trust of a child who's never had reason to doubt her father. She yawns, snuggles deeper into her pillow. Love you, Daddy. Love you more, baby girl. Darian stays until her breathing evens out, until sleep pulls her back under. Then he stands, legs stiff, back aching from double shifts and fear that won't let him rest. He walks to the living room. Their apartment is small. One bedroom for Ariel. A couch that folds out into a bed for him. A kitchen barely big enough for 2 people to stand in. But it's theirs. Safe. Home. Except it's not safe anymore. Because Arden Wynn has money and lawyers and connections that reach into every corner of his life. Because she paid for Ariel's surgery, and now she thinks she owns them both. Darian sinks onto the couch, head in his hands. His phone sits on the coffee table, screen dark. He should sleep. He has work in 3 hours. But every time he closes his eyes, he sees Arden smile. Hears her voice. Don't make me take her from you. His phone buzzes. Darian's whole body tenses. He grabs it, expecting another message. Another threat disguised as concern. But it's just an email. Spam. Some advertisement for car insurance. He sets the phone down, exhales slowly. His hands are still shaking. The apartment is silent except for the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of traffic outside. Somewhere in the building, a baby cries. Life continues. Normal. Mundane. Unaware that his world is crumbling. Darian stands, walks to the window. The city spreads out below him, lights twinkling like a promise of safety that doesn't exist. Somewhere out there, Arden Wynn sits in her glass tower, waiting for his answer. Somewhere out there, people are watching him, tracking his movements, building a case. He thinks about running, taking Ariel and disappearing. But where would they go? How would they survive? Ariel needs medical care, specialists, medications, Things that require insurance and records and stability. Things Arden could destroy with a phone call. Darian presses his forehead against the cool glass. His reflection stares back at him, ghostly and hollow. 20 hours left. The hospital lobby smells like disinfectant and flowers dying in cheap vases. Darian holds Ariel's hand as they walk toward the elevator. It's her 3-month post-surgery checkup. Routine, just making sure everything healed properly. Making sure the miracle stuck. Except nothing about this feels routine anymore. Ariel skips beside him, light on her feet in a way that still makes his heart swell. 6 months ago, she could barely walk to the bathroom without getting winded. Now she's practically dancing through the hospital corridors. "Can we get ice cream after?" she asks, looking up at him with hopeful eyes. "We'll see," Darian says automatically. If what he always says. "We'll see" means maybe if I can afford it. Means let me check my bank account first. They step into the elevator. A woman in scrubs gets in behind them, followed by an older man with a walker. The door slides shut. The elevator lurches upward. Darian's phone buzzes. He ignores it. It's been buzzing all morning. Messages from unknown numbers. Missed calls that don't leave voicemails. Ever since last night, his phone has become a weapon pointed at his temple. The elevator stops on the 4th floor. Cardiology, where Dr. Reeves has her office. They step out into a hallway lined with motivational posters. Hearts with encouraging slogans. "Keep beating. Stay strong. You've got this." Hollow words for people whose bodies betrayed them. The receptionist smiles when they approach. "Ariel Cole, that's us," Darian says. Dr. Reeves is running a few minutes behind. "You can have a seat." They sit in plastic chairs that squeak when you move. Ariel picks up a magazine, flipping through pictures of celebrities she doesn't recognize. Darian stares at the wall, seeing nothing. His phone buzzes again. This time he looks. A text message from an unknown number. "Dr. Reeves is excellent. Such a caring physician. I hope Ariel's appointment goes well." Ugh. Darian's blood runs cold. Arden knows they're here. Right now. She knows about the appointment. How? He never told her. He didn't mention it to anyone except Mrs. Chun, who drove them here and is waiting in the parking lot. Unless Arden has access to Ariel's medical records. Unless she's been tracking their schedule since the beginning. "Mr. Cole," a nurse stands in the doorway, clipboard in hand. "We're ready for Ariel." They follow her down a hallway to an exam room. Bright lights. Paper-covered table. The same room where Dr. Reeves told them Ariel's heart was failing. Where she explained the surgery in terms Darian barely understood, but knew meant expensive and urgent, and your daughter might die. The room where everything changed. Dr. Reeves enters a few minutes later, white coat crisp, stethoscope around her neck. She's in her 50s, gray hair pulled back, smile warm but professional. "Ariel," she says brightly, "look at you. You look wonderful." Ariel grins, sitting up straighter on the exam table. Dr. Reeves runs through the standard checks. Blood pressure, heart rate, listening to Ariel's chest while she breathes deep. The whole time, Darian watches, waiting for something to be wrong, for the other shoe to drop. "Everything sounds perfect," Dr. Reeves finally says, pulling back. "Her heart is strong, healing beautifully. I couldn't be happier with her progress." Relief floods through Darian, warm and overwhelming. "That's good. That's really good." Dr. Reeves makes notes on her tablet, then looks up at him. "I have to say, Ariel is one of the lucky ones. That surgery is expensive. Most families can't afford it without significant financial support." She pauses. Ms. Wynn's generosity really saved her life. The words land like punches. Darian's smile freezes. "Yeah, we're very grateful." Dr. Reeves nods, still tapping on her tablet. "She called yesterday, actually. Want to make sure Ariel was scheduled for follow-ups. Such a kind woman. She even offered to cover any additional costs that insurance might not handle." Darian's throat tightens. "She called you?" "Just yesterday," Dr. Reeves confirms, not looking up. "She said she wants to stay involved. Make sure Ariel gets the best care possible." Finally, she meets his eyes. "You're lucky to have someone like that looking out for your family." Lucky. The word feels like barbed wire wrapped around his ribs. "Yeah," Darian manages. Real lucky. They leave the hospital 20 minutes later, Ariel chattering about ice cream and whether they can stop at the park. Darian nods along, but his mind is somewhere else. Arden called Ariel's doctor, inserted herself into medical decisions, positioned herself as a benefactor, a savior, someone with a legitimate interest in his daughter's well-being. She's building a narrative, creating witnesses, establishing a pattern. If this ever goes to court, if she ever tries to claim custody, she'll have doctors testifying that she cared, that she provided, that she was involved. Darian's phone buzzes again. This time, he answers. Hello. Silence on the other end, just breathing, steady and calm. Then Arden's voice, soft as silk over shattered glass. 16 hours, Darian. The line goes dead. The apartment is too quiet. Darian stands at the kitchen counter, staring at his phone. It's 9 p.m. Ariel is asleep. The world outside continues spinning, unaware that his life has become a trap he can't escape. His shift at the warehouse was torture. Every time his phone buzzed, every time someone looked at him too long, his heart jumped into his throat. He kept waiting for security to show up, for someone to tell him he was fired, for Arden's influence to reach into this part of his life too. But nothing happened. Just 8 hours of lifting boxes and pretending everything was normal. Now he's home, and the clock is ticking. 14 hours left. Darian opens his phone, scrolls through the messages. Most are from unknown numbers, vague, threatening in their politeness. Hope you're resting well. Ariel looked happy today. Decisions are easier when we remember what's at stake. He wants to throw the phone across the room, watch it shatter against the wall. But he can't. It's his only connection to Ariel when he's at work. The only way he can reach her in an emergency. So he sets it down gently, hands trembling with suppressed rage. A knock at the door makes him jump. Darian freezes. It's late. No one knocks this late unless something's wrong. He walks to the door, peers through the peephole. A delivery driver stands in the hallway, holding a large envelope. The man looks bored, checking his phone while he waits. Darian opens the door. Can I help you? Delivery for Darian Cole. Sign here. The man hands him a tablet. Darian scribbles his signature, takes the envelope. Heavy, expensive paper, the kind that whispers important before you even open it. The driver leaves without another word. Darian closes the door, turns the envelope over. No return address, just his name printed in gold lettering. He rips it open. Papers slide out, thick and official. Legal documents, contracts, terms and conditions printed in font so small it makes his eyes hurt. A handwritten note falls out last, landing on the floor. Darian picks it up. Arden's handwriting, elegant, precise. For your review, everything you could need for Ariel's future. Education, healthcare, security, all yours. Just sign. Ugh. Darian's hands shake as he flips through the papers. It's all there. College funds in Ariel's name. Trust accounts. Medical insurance that covers everything. A house deed transferred to his name. A monthly stipend that's more than he makes in 6 months. Everything he's ever wanted for his daughter. Everything he could never provide on his own. All he has to do is father Arden's child. Let her have complete control. Sign away his rights. Become a transaction instead of a person. Darian sinks onto the couch, papers spilling across his lap. The numbers blur together. Zeros that represent freedom and prison in equal measure. His phone buzzes. Not a text this time. A call. Unknown number. He answers, too tired to care anymore. Hello. Did you receive my package? Arden's voice is smooth. Satisfied. Yeah, Darian says. I got it. Good. Take your time reviewing it. I think you'll find the terms very generous. Generous. Darian repeats, the word tasting like acid. Darian. Arden's tone shifts. Still soft, but with an edge underneath. I know this is difficult, but think about Ariel. Think about what this means for her future. I think about Ariel every second of every day. Darian says, voice low. I don't need you to remind me. A pause. Then Arden laughs. Quiet, almost amused. You're upset. I understand, but emotion clouds judgment. Look at the facts. I'm offering you security, stability, Everything a father should want for his child. At what cost? Darian asks. Cost? Arden's voice hardens. I save your daughter's life. This isn't cost. This is gratitude. Darian closes his eyes, presses the phone against his ear so heart hurts. And if I say no, silence. Long enough that Darian wonders if she hung up. Then Arden speaks again, voice colder than winter. Then we'll discover just how much you're willing to sacrifice for pride. The line goes dead. Darian sits in the dark, phone in one hand, contract in the other. The apartment is silent except for his breathing and the clock on the wall ticking away the minutes he has left. In the bedroom, Ariel sleeps. Peaceful, safe, unaware that her father is being forced to choose between his dignity and her future. Darian looks down at the contract, at all those zeros, at the promise of everything he's ever wanted. And underneath it all, the cost written in ink that might as well be blood. His phone lights up one more time. A final message. Midnight. My office. Bring your decision. She found the perfect candidate. The words drift down the hallway, carried on laughter that doesn't quite reach humor. Darian freezes mid-stride, mop handle gripped tight in both hands. He's 3 hours into his night shift at Win Global, cleaning offices while the executives sleep in their suburban mansions. The building should be empty except for security and maintenance crew. But two voices echo from around the corner. Male, confident, the kind of voices that belong to men who've never worried about paying rent. Darian edges closer, keeping his footsteps silent on polished tile. The voices grow clearer. The board's been pressuring her for months. The first voice says, needs an heir, someone to carry on the Win name. And she picked a janitor? The second voice laughs. That's bold, even for Arden. Not just any janitor. Single father. Black. Struggling. She saved his daughter's life. He owes her everything. A pause. Papers rustling. Smart, the second voice admits. He can't say no. What's he going to do? Walk away from the woman who kept his kid alive? Exactly. She owns him. And once she gets what she wants, the contract ensures he disappears. Clean. Legal. No messy custody battles. Darian's stomach turns to stone. The mop handle slips from his fingers, clattering against the floor. The voices stop instantly. Did you hear that? Footsteps approach. Fast. Purposeful. Darian grabs his mop, heart hammering against his ribs, and pushes his cart around the opposite corner. He forces himself to move casually, like a man who hasn't just heard his entire life reduced to a business transaction. Two men in expensive suits round the corner behind him. They stop, watching him with narrowed eyes. Evening, Darian says, voice steady despite the terror racing through his veins. The taller one nods slowly. Working late. Always, Darian replies, squeezing water from his mop with hands that won't stop shaking. The men exchange a glance. Something passes between them. Recognition maybe, or calculation. You're Cole, right? The shorter one asks. Darian Cole. Ice floods Darian's chest. They know his name. Of course they know his name. Everyone in Arden's orbit probably knows exactly who he is. That's me, he says carefully. The taller man smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. Miswin speaks highly of you. Says you're very grateful for everything she's done. The word grateful lands like a fist. Darian forces himself to nod. Yes, sir. Very grateful. Good man. The shorter one claps him on the shoulder, grip just a little too tight. Gratitude is important, especially when someone gives you something you could never repay. They walk past him, shoes clicking against tile. Darian doesn't move until their footsteps fade into silence. Then he leans against the wall, legs weak, breathing hard. His phone buzzes in his pocket. He pulls it out with trembling fingers. A text from an unknown number. No words, just an attachment. Darian opens it. A PDF document loads slowly, lines of text filling the screen. It's a contract, the same one from the envelope, but this version has notes in the margins. Arden's handwriting, annotations explaining each clause. One section is highlighted in red. Biological father agrees to relinquish all parental rights upon birth. Child becomes sole property of Arden Win. Father receives agreed-upon compensation and signs NDA preventing disclosure of arrangement. Violation results in immediate legal action and forfeiture of all benefits, including medical coverage for Ariel Cole. Darian's vision blurs. The words swim together. Property, compensation, forfeiture. She planned this. Not after he refused. Not after she saw him vulnerable in her office. She planned this before the surgery. Before she ever spoke to him. Before Ariel ever went under the knife. The miracle was never a miracle. It was an investment, a down payment on a future she decided for him without his consent. His phone buzzes again. Another message. 10 hours remaining. My office. Midnight. Don't be late. Darian slides down the wall until he's sitting on the cold tile floor. His reflection stares back at him from the polished surface. Hollow. Defeated. A man who thought he was being saved when he was actually being purchased. Somewhere above him, in her gold-lit office, Arden Wynn is probably smiling. Somewhere in his apartment across town, Ariel is sleeping. Safe, healthy, alive, because of the woman who now holds both their futures in her perfectly manicured hands. Midnight arrives like a death sentence. Darian stands outside Arden's office, hand hovering over the door handle. Through the frosted glass, he can see her silhouette. She's sitting at her desk, perfectly still, waiting. He's been standing here for 3 minutes, long enough for his legs to start cramping, long enough to consider running, long enough to realize he has nowhere to run to. He opens the door. The office glows with golden light from lamps positioned in corners. Shadows dance across marble floors. Everything in this room costs more than his entire life. The desk, the chairs, the imported paintings on walls that stretch 12 feet high. Arden looks up. She's wearing the same red suit from before. Or maybe a different one exactly like it. With women like her, it's hard to tell. Everything is calculated. Every detail chosen for maximum impact. Darian, she says warmly, like they're old friends meeting for coffee. Thank you for coming. He doesn't respond. Just stands there, contract folded in his back pocket, weighing him down like stones tied to a drowning man. Arden gestures to the chair across from her. Please, sit. Darian remains standing. Her smile doesn't falter, but something shifts in her eyes. A flash of irritation quickly masked. She's not used to people refusing her, even small refusals. I overheard your executives tonight, Darian says, voice low but steady. Talking about your plan, about how you chose me, about how I owe you. Arden tilts her head, studying him. And what did they say? That you picked me because I'm desperate, because I can't say no, because saving Ariel means you own me. Silence fills the room. Heavy, suffocating, the kind of silence that comes before storms. Then Arden stands. She moves around the desk, heels clicking against marble, until she's standing directly in front of him, close enough that he can smell her perfume. Expensive, foreign, the scent of power and money. They weren't wrong, she says simply. Darian's jaw clenches. I'm not a transaction. Everyone is a transaction, Darian. Arden's voice is soft, almost gentle. The only difference is whether you accept fair compensation or pretend dignity is worth more than your daughter's life. Fair. The word comes out like a snarl. You call this fair? Arden doesn't flinch. She reaches into her jacket pocket, pulls out a pen. Gold trim. Same one from before. She holds out to him. I call it reality. You needed something you couldn't afford. I provided it. Now I'm asking for something in return. She pauses. That's how the world works. Especially for men like you. Men like you. The words hang in the air, loaded with meaning she doesn't bother hiding. Darian's hands ball into fists. Rage burns through him, hot and desperate. But underneath the rage is something worse. Fear, because she's right about one thing. He didn't need her. Ariel would be dead without her. And Arden knows it, has known it from the beginning. I won't do it, he says quietly. Arden's expression doesn't change. Won't or can't. Both. She sighs, like a teacher disappointed in a student who showed such promise. She walks back to her desk, sets the pen down carefully, then picks up her phone. Before you make your final decision, she says, scrolling through something on the screen, There's something you should see. She turns the phone toward him. A video plays silently. Security footage. Black and white. Timestamped from 3 days ago. It shows Ariel walking out of school. Mrs. Chin is supposed to pick her up, but in the video, a black SUV pulls up instead. Arden steps out. She says something to Ariel, who smiles. They hug. Arden hands her a stuffed animal. They talk for several minutes before Mrs. Chin arrives. Darian's blood runs cold. You went to her school? I wanted to check on her, Arden says calmly. Make sure she was adjusting well. The school staff was very accommodating when I explained our relationship. We don't have a relationship, Darian growls. Arden's smile returns. Cold. Sharp. Don't we? I save her life. I call her doctor. I know where she goes to school. I've met her teachers. I bring her gifts. She pauses. To everyone who matters, Darian, I'm already part of her life. The question is whether you want to control that involvement or resist it. Darian's vision blurs. He sees red, pure rage. His daughter, his baby girl, being approached by this woman, being pulled into her web without his knowledge. Stay away from her, he says through clenched teeth. Or what? Arden sets the phone down. You'll file a restraining order? Against the woman who saved her life? Who pays for her health care? Who's done nothing but show concern and generosity? She leans forward. Who do you think a judge will believe? A wealthy philanthropist with documentation of her charity? Or an angry single father with debt and accusations? The trap closes completely. Every exit sealed. Every escape route cut off. Darian wants to scream, to flip the desk, to shatter every piece of glass in this golden cage. But he can't, because she's right. The system isn't built for men like him. It's built for women like her. You have what you came for, Arden says, voice businesslike now. The contract, the terms, everything spelled out clearly. Sign it, and Ariel's future is secure. Refuse, and we'll discover just how fragile security can be. She picks up the pen again, holds out. Choose, Darian. The word hangs between them like a blade. Choose, as if there was ever really a choice. As if she hasn't already decided his future and wrapped it in paperwork. Darian looks at the pen, at Arden's expectant face, at the contract that would make him a father to a child he'd never hold and erase him from another's life. His hand moves, not toward the pen, toward his pocket. He pulls out his phone instead. What are you doing? Arden's voice sharpens. Call him my lawyer, Darian says. Arden laughs. Actually laughs. Your lawyer? Darian, you can't afford a lawyer. And even if you could, what would you tell them? That I made you an offer? That's not illegal. Uncomfortable maybe, but not illegal. Darian's thumb hovers over the screen. She's right. He doesn't have a lawyer. Can't afford one. And even if he could, what would he say? That a billionaire offered him money and he felt pressured? He lowers the phone. Arden's smile returns. There's the reality you were avoiding. Now, one last time. Sigh. No. The word comes out quiet. Steady. Final. Arden's smile vanishes instantly. The warmth drains from her face like water through a sieve. What remains is pure ice. What did you say? I said no. Darian's voice grows stronger. I'm not signing anything. I'm not giving you my life. And I'm not letting you anywhere near my daughter again. Arden's eyes narrow. She sets the pen down slowly, deliberately. When she speaks, her voice is colder than he's ever heard. You're making a mistake. Maybe, Darian says, but it's my mistake to make. Arden stands motionless for a long moment. Then she walks to her desk, opens a drawer, pulls out a thick folder. She tosses it onto the desk between them. Papers spill out. Photos, documents, bank statements. Do you know what this is? She asks quietly. Darian stares at the papers. He sees his face in some of the photos. Ariel's school, his apartment building, time-stamped receipts from places he's been. You've been following me, he says, horror creeping into his voice. I've been documenting, Arden corrects, your financial instability, your work schedule that leaves Ariel alone for hours, the expired inspection sticker on your car, the late rent payments, the fact that you work 2 jobs and still can't provide adequate supervision. She picks up one document, holds it up. This is a petition for emergency custody. Already prepared, already notarized. All I need to do is file it. Darian's world tilts. You can't do that. I can, and I will. Arden's voice is steel wrapped in silk. I'll tell the court that I'm concerned for Ariel's welfare, that despite my financial support, you're still struggling, that you become hostile and unstable, that you refused reasonable assistance because of pride. That's a lie, Darian says desperately. Is it? Arden leans forward. You're exhausted, paranoid. You just threaten a woman who's done nothing but help you. How hard do you think it would be to convince a judge that you're not fit? Especially when I have doctors, teachers, neighbors, all willing to testify about my involvement in your struggles. Darian's legs feel weak. He grips the edge of the chair to stay upright. This is real. She's not bluffing. She has the power, the resources, the connections to tear his life apart piece by piece. Why are you doing this? He asks, voice breaking. Why me? Arden's expression softens slightly. Not with kindness, with something worse. Pity. Because you're perfect, she says. Smart enough, strong enough, and most importantly, vulnerable enough. You have something I want, and I have something you need. That's the only currency that matters. She walks closer, stops just inches from him. I don't lose, Darian. I don't hear no. And I don't let opportunities slip away because someone's feelings got hurt. Darian looks into her eyes, searches for humanity, for some sign that the woman who smiled at Ariel in the hospital actually felt something real. There's nothing there, just calculation, just cold determination to get exactly what she wants regardless of who it destroys. You're a monster, he whispers. Arden doesn't even blink. I'm a businesswoman. There's a difference. Monsters act without purpose. I act with absolute clarity. She steps back, picks up her phone. You have until morning to reconsider. After that, I file the petition. And Darian, she looks at him one last time. When I win, and I will win, you'll never see Ariel again. Not because I'll legally prevent it, but because she'll learn what kind of father throws away her future for his ego. The words hit like bullets, each one finding its mark, each one designed to hurt. Get out of my office, Arden says quietly. Darian doesn't move. Can't move. His body feels frozen, trapped, like a man watching his own execution and unable to stop it. I said get out. Darian turns, walks to the door on legs that barely hold him. His hand touches the handle. Darian. He stops, doesn't turn around. You could have been rich, Arden says softly. You could have given Ariel everything. All you had to do was say yes. I'd rather be poor and free than rich and owned, Darian says without looking back. Arden's laugh follows him into the hallway. You won't be free. You'll be destroyed. And for what? Pride? Dignity? Those don't pay for medical bills. They don't keep your daughter healthy. They're just words men use when they're too stubborn to accept reality. Darian pulls the door closed, cuts off her voice, stands in the empty hallway, breathing hard, world crumbling around him. His phone buzzes. He doesn't need to look to know it's another message. Another threat disguised as concern. He has 6 hours until morning. 6 hours to figure out how to fight a woman with infinite resources and no conscience. 6 hours to save his daughter from a monster who hides behind smiles and charity. The law office smells like old books and desperation. Darian sits across from Marcus Trevant, a lawyer he found through a community center referral. Marcus is young, maybe 30, with kind eyes and a small practice that takes cases other lawyers won't touch. Tell me everything, Marcus says, pen poised over a legal pad. Darian does. Every detail. The surgery, the proposition, the threats, the surveillance, the custody petition. He speaks for 20 minutes straight, words tumbling out in a rush of fear and anger. When he finishes, Marcus sets down his pen. He's quiet for a long moment. This is bad, he finally says. I won't lie to you. She has resources. She has documentation. And she has a narrative that makes her look good and you look unstable. So I can't win, Darian says, defeat creeping into his voice. I didn't say that. Marcus leans forward. I said it's bad, but it's not impossible. We need evidence. Proof that her charity wasn't charity at all. that it was manipulation with an agenda. How do I prove that? Marcus taps his pen against the pad. The executives you overheard. Can you identify them? Get their names? Darian nods slowly. I think so. They work on the 7th floor. Good. We subpoena them. Get them under oath. Force them to admit they knew about her plan. Marcus makes notes. What about the phone calls? The messages? Do you still have them? Most of them. Some were from blocked numbers. We can get phone records, track patterns, show harassment. Marcus looks up. What about the doctor? Did she say anything about Arden's involvement that seemed off? Darian thinks back. Dr. Reeves mentioning Arden's call. Her offer to pay for additional costs. The way she framed it as kindness when it was really control. Yeah, he says. She said Arden wanted to stay involved. That she called to check on follow-up appointments. That's good. That's very good. Marcus writes faster now. Medical privacy laws. She shouldn't have access to those records without your consent. If she's calling doctors, getting information, that's a violation. Hope flickers in Darian's chest. Small, fragile, but there. Can we stop her? He asks. We could try. Marcus meets his eyes. But Darian, you need to understand something. This will get ugly. She'll fight back. She'll use every resource she has to discredit you. Are you prepared for that? Darian thinks about Ariel, about her smile, about the way she holds his hand when she's scared, about everything he's fought for since the day she was born. Yeah, he says. I'm ready. Marcus nods. Then let's get to work. They spend the next 3 hours building a case. Marcus makes calls, sends emails, files emergency motions. Darian provides names, dates, screenshots. Every piece of evidence he can remember. By the time the sun rises, they have a plan. It's not perfect, but it's something. Darian's phone buzzes. He looks at the screen, expecting another threat. Instead, it's a message from Mrs. Chun. Ariel, okay. Had breakfast. Asking about you. Should I tell her anything? Darian's throat tightens. He types back quickly. Tell her Daddy loves her. Tell her everything's going to be okay. He hits send, praying it's not a lie. Marcus looks up from his laptop. I just filed the emergency motion. We'll have a hearing this afternoon. Judge Kimberly Ortega. She's fair. Tough, but fair. What I need to do? Darian asks. Tell the truth. Show emotion, but stay calm. Don't let Arden provoke you. Marcus pauses. And Darian? No matter what happens in that courtroom, remember why you're fighting. That's what will carry you through. Darian nods. He stands legs shaky but determined. Thank you for believing me. Marcus smiles. Someone has to fight for the people who can't afford to fight for themselves. Might as well be me. Darian leaves the office as morning light spills across the city. He walks to his car, gets in, sits there for a moment. His phone buzzes again. This time it's Arden. I hear you found a lawyer. Cute. See you in court. Darian deletes the message. Starts the engine. He has 8 hours until the hearing. 8 hours to prepare. 8 hours to figure out how to beat a woman who thinks she can't lose. But as he drives through empty streets toward home, toward Ariel, he realizes something. Arden made one mistake. One critical error in all her planning. She underestimated how far a father would go to protect his child. The courtroom smells like wood polish and fear. Judge Ortega sits behind the bench, gray hair pulled back, expression neutral. She spent 30 years listening to people lie, beg, and justify. Nothing surprises her anymore. On one side sits Arden Wynn, flanked by 3 lawyers in suits that cost more than Darian's car. She looks calm, confident, like a woman who's already won. On the other side sits Darian with Marcus beside him. No expensive suits, no team of attorneys, just 2 men against an empire. Judge Ortega looks over her reading glasses. Ms. Wynn, you filed an emergency custody petition regarding Ariel Cole. Please present your case. Arden's lead attorney stands. Tall, silver-haired, voice smooth as oil. Your Honor, my client has grave concerns about the child's welfare. Despite Ms. Wynn's generous financial support, including paying for a life-saving surgery, the father continues to struggle. He works excessive hours, leaving the child with inadequate supervision. He's fallen behind on rent. His vehicle has safety violations. And most concerning, He's recently exhibited hostile behavior toward MS. Wynn, threatening her when she expressed continued concern for the child's well-being. The attorney presents documents, bank statements, photos, affidavits from neighbors. Everything Arden promised she had. Darian watches the judge's face. She reveals nothing. Mr. Cole, Judge Ortega looks at Marcus. Your response? Marcus stands. Your Honor, this isn't about child welfare. This is about control. Ms. Wynn didn't help Mr. Cole out of charity. She helped him because she wanted something in return. Objection. Arden's attorney snaps. Speculation. Sustained. Judge Ortega says. Mr. Trevant, do you have evidence? Marcus pulls out his phone, connects it to the courtroom display. Your Honor, these are phone records showing Ms. Wynn contacted Mr. Cole 17 times in 3 days. Messages that became increasingly threatening when he refused her proposition. The messages appear on screen. The judge reads them silently. What proposition? She asks. Marcus takes a breath. Ms. Wynn asked Mr. Cole to father her child. When he refused, she threatened to destroy him. The courtroom goes silent. Even Arden's lawyers look surprised. Judge Ortega looks at Arden. Is this true? Arden stands, voice steady. Your Honor, I admit I may have expressed my desires poorly. I was hoping to build a family with Mr. Cole, not through coercion, but through mutual agreement and generosity. When he refused, I became concerned about Ariel's welfare. That's all. Marcus's voice rises. You surveilled him, contacted his daughter's doctor without authorization, approached the child at school without permission. You built an entire case designed to take his daughter away because he wouldn't give you what you wanted. Objection. Arden's attorney again. Inflammatory. Overruled. Judge Ortega says quietly. She's leaning forward now, eyes sharp. Mr. Trevant, do you have evidence of this surveillance? Marcus presents the photos from Arden's office. Time-stamped, documented, proof of every moment she tracked Darian's life. Judge Ortega studies them for a long time. Then she looks at Arden. Ms. Wynn, this is highly concerning. Explain. Arden's mask finally cracks. Just slightly. I wanted to ensure the child was safe. Mr. Cole is struggling. I have resources. I thought I could help. By demanding he father your child? Judge Ortega's voice cuts like steel. By threatening him when he refused? By tracking his movements and building a custody case as leverage. Your Honor, I've seen enough. Judge Ortega closes the file in front of her. Ms. Wynn, your concern for this child appears directly tied to your desire to control the father. That's not charity. That's manipulation. Your petition is denied. Relief floods through Darian. His hands shake. He wants to cry, but Judge Ortega isn't finished. She looks at Darian now. Mr. Cole, you're not without fault here. You are struggling. You do work excessive hours, and your daughter deserves stability. Darian's heart sinks. However, the judge continues, struggle doesn't equal unfitness, and no parent should be punished for refusing unwanted advances, regardless of who makes them or what they've provided. She looks at Arden. Ms. Wynn, you're to have no contact with Mr. Cole or his daughter. No calls, no visits, no financial support. You will not approach the child's school or medical providers. Violation will result in a restraining order and possible criminal charges. Arden's face goes white. Your Honor, I paid for that surgery. I saved her life. And that was your choice, Judge Ortega says firmly. You don't get to purchase people's futures because you help them, especially not children. This court is adjourned. The gavel falls. Final. Absolute. Darian sits frozen. Marcus grips his shoulder. You did it. You won. Around them, Arden's lawyers pack their briefcases in silence. Arden herself stands motionless, staring at Darian with an expression he can't read. Rage. Disbelief. The first time in her life, someone told her no and made it stick. She walks past him toward the exit. Pauses. Leans close enough to whisper. You'll regret this. She'll need more surgeries, more care, and you'll have nothing. Darian looks her in the eye. I'll have my daughter, and my dignity. That's everything. Arden's jaw tightens. Then she's gone, red suit disappearing through the courtroom doors. Darian exhales. His whole body trembles with relief and exhaustion. Marcus hands him a tissue. He didn't realize he was crying. "Let's get you home," Marcus says gently. Home, where Ariel is waiting, where life can finally return to normal, or at least their version of normal. Still broke, still struggling, but free. An hour later, Darian opens the apartment door. Ariel runs to him, throws her arms around his waist. "Daddy, Mrs. Chun said you had an important meeting. Did it go okay?" Darian kneels, pulls her into a tight hug. "Yeah, baby girl. It went perfect. Is Miss Arden going to visit again?" "No," Darian says, voice firm. "She's not." Ariel nods, something like relief crossing her young face. "Good. She made me feel weird." Darian's heart breaks and heals simultaneously. His little girl, so perceptive, so brave. She knew something was wrong even when he tried to hide it. "You're safe," he whispers. "I promise. You're always going to be safe." That night, after Ariel falls asleep, Darian sits on his couch. The apartment is quiet. The city hums outside. His phone is silent for the first time in days. He thinks about Arden, about her power and her plans and her absolute certainty that money could buy anything. He thinks about how close he came to losing everything. But mostly he thinks about what the judge said, that struggle doesn't equal unfitness, that helping someone doesn't give you ownership, that kindness without consent is just control wearing a prettier mask. His phone buzzes one last time. Not Arden. "Marcus, sleep well. You earned it." And "Darian, you're a good father. Don't let anyone tell you different." Darian smiles, sets the phone down, closes his eyes. Tomorrow he'll go back to work. 2 jobs, exhausting hours, never enough money. But it's his life, his choice, his daughter, and no one, not even a billionaire in a red suit, can take that away. Because some things in this world aren't for sale, and a father's love tops that list. If stories like this move you, if they remind you that power doesn't always win and that ordinary people fighting for what's right can change everything, then subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. We share stories that inspire, that challenge, and that prove justice sometimes comes when you least expect it. Drop a comment below. Tell us your thoughts. Share your own story of standing up when the world told you to sit down. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Thank you for watching. And remember, in a world that tries to put a price on everything, the most valuable things remain priceless.